All right, we're here today with Future Media Association. We're practicing our talents, and our energy is going into video today. So we're interviewing different people, and I wanted to interview Steve today and discover a little bit about the healthcare system and how it relates to where it's going, what's taking place, and what we need to know and understand to prepare ourselves for when I get a few years older. So tell me about it, Steve.
Well, we have a system in this country, and we've had it since 1965. 1965, Lyndon Johnson signed the Medicare Act in place. And the very first recipient for Medicare, and hardly anyone knows this, was former President Harry Truman.
Really?
Yes, he got.
I did not know that.
Yes, he got the first one.
Holy cow!
And so from that point, it just evolved over the years as things do.
Yep.
And it's expanded some now, and now anyone turning 65 is automatically a member of Medicare.
So Medicare does what for us, or to us?
Well, what it does,
or helped us how?
Sure. What it does is provide health care for seniors. That's what it was for.
Okay.
For seniors only. Anyone on disability, after they've been on disability, much younger people, what we call underage people, if they're on disability, if they've been on disability for 2 years, they can go on Medicare. They're eligible for that. Say they're only 40 or 41 or 35.
Okay.
That's
so if I had an illness or an injury that wasn't allowing me to function or work, then I would qualify after 2 years for Medicare.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And other than that, people turning 65 are eligible.
Okay.
And someone needs to be aware of the options, so that they make the correct options depending on their circumstances and economic situation and so forth.
Okay.
So there's pretty much something for everybody in Medicare, depending on your income and so forth.
So tell us about how you can help educate people and how they can get a hold of you currently, and how we hope to change that and expand that in the future.
Sure. Well, I live in LaPorte, Texas.
Okay.
And I've been doing this for 15 years, so I love going around explaining Medicare to people.
Well, we've connected over the years in different networking situations as well. So.
Sure.
So networking is important. That's a great opportunity to get in there. What's another way that they can get a hold of you?
Well, they can reach me. I've got a phone number. So
what's your phone number?
832-754-3292.
Say it again.
832-754-3292.
Do you have an email address?
Baker Partners. That's one word. BakerPartners@earthlink.net.
BakerPartners@earthlink.net. So, what's the next step for Medicare, and what do you see in the next 5 years?
Well, it's basically going to evolve some, and some of the things that are going on with the health ACA, which Portable Care Act. Some of those things are going to spill over into Medicare, but not for right now. I mean, they're totally separated.
So we're pretty stable.
We're pretty stable, exactly.
Okay. So how is this? I mean, because a lot of people, they buzz about. I had a lot of chatter about Social Security and the debt and all of that stuff. So how do we prepare for getting in advance of turning 65 if nothing else goes wrong with us? Be in advance of that. So do we just sign up? Is it automatic, or do we have to do paperwork in advance? Or
well, there's 4 parts to Medicare. The first part is Part A. That was the original part of Medicare, and that actually pays for the hospital room only, in case you have to enter a hospital.
Okay.
That's Part A. And that part has all been paid for through the years, because as you may or may not know, if you're employed, they make a deduction out of your check. You call it Medicare. That pays for Part A.
Okay.
And then Part A, and then Part B is quite different. It's basically pretty much all of Medicare, 90 to 95% of Medicare.
Okay.
And that pays for doctor's visits inside and outside of the hospital.
Is that a copay, or is that all encompassing in Medicare?
It's not, it's a copay in the sense that there's a one-time annual deductible for Medicare,
Okay.
a Medicare deductible of $147.
Okay.
After that 147 has been met, Medicare pays 100%.
Oh, wow.
Well, they pay 80%, and then you can get a supplement to pay the remaining 20%.
Okay. All
So
right.
you can get pretty much 100% coverage by participating in Medicare.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know that.
And if you're military, do you qualify for a different program? Like my dad's a veteran. So.
Well, has he retired from the military?
Yes, he's retired
Okay.
from the
All right, there's
military.
something that's called TRICARE.
Okay.
And that's only for veterans, for who have retired.
Okay.
So he's eligible for TRICARE.
Okay.
Not Medicare, but TRICARE.
So that's good news. So I want to help you get out there and educate everybody on this, because I think it's important
Sure.
to understand, because the millennials and the boomers are the two biggest populations we have in the U.S.
Right.
And a lot of these, as you stated, 10,000 people are moving into the 65 and older
Sure.
range, and we're living longer.
Right.
We're more active, and so that's going to be interesting to see how we proceed with that many people on Medicare.
Sure.
And how we can help each other.
Right.
Make sure that it stays intact and we're taken care of before we leave this place.
Yeah, and if they wait too long, it can get tremendously overwhelming, because there's Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D. Each has its own thing, and then when you get into Medicare, there are plans. You move from parts to plan. There's Plan G, Plan F, Plan N.
Well, we need you then to share that information and get it in place, because that's critical that people understand what needs to take place, so they're not blindsided at the last possible moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Steve. It's appreciated being here today, and love to have you share it and increase your awareness and education as we move forward. Thank you so much. This is Russ Johns with Future Media Association, and thank you, Steve.
Thank you. It was a
Have
pleasure.
a great day.
It was a pleasure.